Hi everybody, Jamie here from Ultra CrossFit, joined here by co-owner and my wife, Caroline, just to talk a bit about the upcoming Barbelles for Breast Cancer event that we've got coming up. Kaz is the expert here. I'll very much let her lead the way. So yeah, Kaz, over to you. Did you just want to introduce the event a small bit and tell us about why it's important and just kind of go from there?
Yep, sure. So when I'm not at Ultra coaching or doing Jamie's grocery shopping, I actually work as an oncology physio at the Wesley Hospital. So I treat patients with all sorts of cancer, but probably over half of my patients are breast cancer patients. So we just know that it is such a common cancer. It affects so many people, both women and men. I think that's quite an unknown fact that breast cancer can affect men too. And so that's what I do as my day job, kind of getting people fitter and stronger, treating them after surgery. And I think there's just so much more evidence and knowledge coming out about the benefits of exercise for people going through cancer. So, we've always run a women's training session, like it sort of predates our ownership at Ultra. We used to do Metcons and mimosas. Just a fun chance for women to get together and train and have some food and drinks and some laughs. And when we took over, that was something I definitely wanted to continue. But I think we both wanted to turn it into something a little bit more meaningful and do some fundraising with it. So it progressed into Barbelles for Breast Cancer. So Sunday, 26th of October, starting at 10 a.m, 10 till 12. There'll be a mixture of sort of some workouts, food, drinks, raffle prizes, and just really good company with some great quality women.
Awesome. You mentioned there, obviously, about the work that you've been doing has been predominantly with females with breast cancer, and then you touched on the strength training element as well, get people fitter and stronger. Did you want to talk about what the importance is regarding strength training for individuals that are suffering from or have suffered from breast cancer?
Thank you, Jamie. Yeah, no, I could talk all day about this. So I think the benefits of strength training for women, we're becoming more aware of that for, all women, but especially women who've been diagnosed with breast cancer. So breast cancer, a lot of them are hormone driven. So there's hormones in the body. So whether it's estrogen, progesterone, or there's another one called HER2. And a lot of breast cancers are fueled by these hormones. So 85% of breast cancer tumours are fueled by estrogen. So we know that higher levels of estrogen in the body can increase the risk of these breast cancer tumours. Exercise, resistance training, aerobic training can help to, limit the amount of estrogen. We know that the more fatty tissue you have in the body, there's more estrogen floating around there. And then we look at exercise to help recovery from breast cancer. So whether that's from surgery, women who've had mastectomies or even just lumpectomies where they've had a sort of just a smaller portion of their breast removed, have restricted range of movement. They become deconditioned if they've gone through chemotherapy. And then often, even once they've finished their chemo, their radiation, they're put on hormone blockers to block these hormones, the estrogen, progesterone, and that can sometimes be for years, 5 years, 10 years. So we're dealing with their deconditioning, their fatigue, loss of strength. And then a lot of these hormone blockers as well, they have a negative effect on bone mineral density. So their bones become weaker. How do we get bones stronger? We add resistance, we add weights. So many different benefits. And then I think there's a huge component around the mental health or the psychological health. Breast cancer treatment is pretty cruel. Women, they lose their breasts, they lose their hair, their eyelashes, parts that really link in with their femininity. And then add insult to injury, a lot of the hormone treatment, they might gain weight. So they're not feeling like themselves. Exercise can help control that, gives them something to control after a time where they've had, little to no control.
Awesome. That was. This is the thing. So obviously, been married to you and been together for 50 years, or what feels like. I feel like I'm quite well versed in oncology generally. But at the same time, I think that's super duper important, not just for the general population to know, but also for specifically for women with the condition to know as well, because they might not understand why something is happening, or kind of the importance of exercise, or anything, or just kind of, I suppose, I know I said why, but kind of more understanding of how this has come to be and impact them, like, so. But also on the flip side, I know I'm kind of going all over the place at the moment, but like as a man, I think it's super important to know this as well. I'm very fortunate that I've learned most of this stuff from you, and unfortunate in the sense that like, as you know, like my mum has gone through a breast cancer thing recently, but I always felt like I was quite able to handle that from the mental health perspective, because I'd learned so much from you. What I want to ask you now is talking a bit about more what you're aiming to do with Barbelles for Breast Cancer from an awareness perspective, and how that extends much outside the four walls of Ultra and the just females generally. So can you talk a bit about the awareness, what you're trying to achieve with that?
Yeah, so I think that's something this year I want to do a bit differently. Like last year, we had an amazing event as well. We raised, I think over $1,000. I don't just want it to be just about fundraising or just about exercise. I want to really raise awareness. So, I'm seeing younger and younger women being diagnosed with breast cancer, and there are different reasons, for that. I think our screening and investigations have improved, but I think there are also some lifestyle factors that are sort of making it a high risk for younger women. So I guess on that point, I just want to educate younger women, because a lot of our members here at Ultra, they are in their 20s and early 30s, and they probably think I'm too young to get breast cancer. But I have unfortunately heard of cases where women have presented to their GP, whether they've found a lump or a change that they're not sure about, and their GP's told them, no, you're too young, and it hasn't been investigated. So I think I really want to educate women to advocate them for themselves if they're not happy with the explanation. Get a second opinion, or keep pushing until you are satisfied, because we know that that's not true. Women in their 20s and 30s can be diagnosed. I think the other thing, just around healthy habits and physical activity, I know, anyone that comes to Ultra, we've already sold them on the benefits of exercise. They know they're doing it for themselves, but they might take that education home to their mums, to their work colleagues, to their friends, sisters, just about the, I guess, protective mechanism of exercise around breast cancer. So we know women who are physically active are less likely to develop breast cancer, which is great. And then I think the other side of it is, once women do go through treatment, our survival rates are only improving. It's getting wonderful. Treatments becoming better and better, but they're often left with side effects. So whether that's fatigue, peripheral neuropathy, which is like nerve damage from chemotherapy, lymphedema, which I deal with a lot. So when their arm develops swelling because they've had lymph nodes removed. So I think if you've got a colleague or a friend who has been through treatment for breast cancer, I think just because they've finished treatment, still checking in on them, still see if they're okay, because we know that once someone's gone through treatment, some of that support dries up. And I think that's why the charity that we choose, so Breast Cancer Network Australia, it's a great charity, but what they focus on is practical support for people going through treatment. So a lot of charities fund research, which is very important. I work in research. Research, we need research, but I think that practical hands-on support is definitely what patients benefit from as well. So I think they're the few things that I'm keen to focus on this year, and not just slap pink ribbons on things. I actually want to build awareness about the condition, preventing it, going through treatment, and then for when people come out the other side as well.
Awesome, thanks for that. And you've obviously mentioned that we're doing Barbelles for Breast Cancer on the 26th.
Yep.
What can people expect from the event generally? What have you got? What have you got in mind for them?
So there will be workouts. I think previously we've done kind of a long chipper style workout. I might mix it up a little bit this year and do maybe a couple of shorter workouts, have some different heats. It is open to women, all women, so whether they've exercised or not, there'll be something there for you to do. So exercise, food, drinks, we've got some raffle prizes, and just a good time. I've got some women are bringing their daughters along as well, so, teenage or school-age daughters. But yeah, if sort of you're not sure or got any questions, just get in touch. I'm happy to chat to you. But yeah, hope to see everyone there.
And as Kaz mentioned, obviously it is women specifically. As a male, what I do want to say is that just because this is a female-only event does not mean that men cannot get involved in some way behind the scenes. We've all got mothers, sisters, daughters, we've all got women in our lives. My, I suppose, unsolicited advice for all men watching this isn't that, okay, cool, just deal with it, it's a woman-only event. Quite the opposite. Support by helping to continue to raise awareness for support of any of the women in your lives that may have gone through breast cancer or are currently going through it or may do in the future, statistically. We can still get behind this and support this event. Donations, obviously, are going to be the big thing to help BCNA, Breast Cancer Network Australia. But yeah, don't feel that just because this is predominantly a female event that we as males are not affected.
Share it with your wives. Share the event. To our male members. Get your wives to come along. We'd love to meet them. Sisters, work colleagues, friends, anyone. Yeah.
And last question, probably. How can women get involved in Barbelles for Breast Cancer?
So, got the sign up link. There's QR code in the gym on the flyers. There's on our social media, there'll be links to register. So you register via Push Press. So $25 to register and attend, but that covers all workouts, food. All proceeds go to Breast Cancer Network Australia. If you're not able to make it or you just want to donate, there's also our fundraising page, which again is on our socials and our posters.
Awesome. I'll pop the information in the show notes and the description below of this video for anyone watching on YouTube. And yeah, no, thank you so much for your time there, Kaz. Was there any of the final pointers to make at all?
Not from me.
Nope, not from me. Cool, awesome. Guys, you heard it here. 26th of October, 10 till 12. Get involved. Tell your friends. Donate. Whatever you do to get involved will be so incredibly beneficial.
Yeah.
And yeah, just thank you from me, thank you from Kaz, and hopefully you enjoyed this. Give it a like, subscribe, or whatever crap that people do on YouTube. And yeah, we'll see you hopefully with a post-event wrap-up.
Sounds good.